Section 26 is about creating functions called pure functions or pure anonymous functions. To get started, consider mapping the blur function over a list of images. Using /at to map the blur function over the list is the same as applying blur separately to each image in the list. That blurs the images a little bit, but the blur function also takes a second argument that says how much blurring to do. Blurring with second argument 5, for example, can be done by including a second argument in each application of the blur function. This can also be done by introducing a pure function that applies blur with second argument 5 and using /at to map that pure function over the list. The first part of that input shows notation for entering the pure function. The ampersand character in that input indicates that what comes before it is the pure function. The number sign character is called a slot. The slot marks the place where the argument will be inserted when the function is applied. Here is another example. This example uses a pure function that rotates its argument by 90 degrees and uses /at to apply that pure function to each element in a list of strings. The slot in a pure function can occur anywhere within the pure function. For example, this input includes a pure function that uses the rotate function to rotate the string hello, and where the slot is the second argument in the rotate function, which is the argument that specifies the angle of rotation. When this pure function is mapped over a list of angles, the string hello is rotated by each angle in the list. This maps a pure function over a list of colors. The pure function in this example displays a string and uses the style function to show that string at size 20 and in each of the colors in the list. This shows a pure function that makes a graphic of a circle and where the slot is the value of the image size option of the graphics function. When this pure function is mapped over a list of numbers, the result shows the circles with those numbers as the image sizes. The slot in a pure function can also be used in more than one place in the pure function. For example, this shows a pure function where the slot appears in two places in the pure function. When this pure function is mapped over a list of colors, the first slot displays the color, and the second slot is used in color negate to show color negate of that color. This input gives the lengths of the Wikipedia articles on 3 different topics. And here is a modification of that input to get a result that pairs the topic with each length. This adds the grid function to that input so that the result is displayed as a grid. Here's a more complicated example that shows a pure function mapped over the elements in a list generated by integer digits. And for reference, here is the list returned by integer digits before the pure function is applied. The pure function in this example displays each digit and with the style function used to specify the size and color for that digit. Even in this relatively complicated input, mapping the pure function over the list simply inserts each element of the list in place of the slots in the pure function. Mapping that pure function over the list 6, 8, 9, for example, gives the same result as the list with 6, 8, and 9 inserted in place of the slots in the pure function. To explore a bit more of what is going on in these examples, consider mapping a pure function with a generic function f over a list. Here is a simpler example, again using a generic function f. In this simple example where f is used with exactly one argument, the result is equivalent to mapping f by itself over the list. Pure functions provide a way to go beyond this simple example to set up functions with slots wherever they are needed. For example, this applies a pure function with slots in several places within the function. This shows the result as a column, which makes it easier to see the arguments a, b, and c inserted successively in place of the 4 slots in the pure function. So far the examples have involved mapping a pure function over the elements in a list, but pure functions can actually be applied directly to arguments without mapping, just like any other function. The basic way in the Wolfram language of entering a function applied to an argument is to enter the name of the function followed by square brackets that enclose the argument. This input, for example, shows the blur function applied to an image. The function that is applied in this way can also be a pure function. For example, this input also applies the function f to x by giving the pure function followed by square brackets that enclose the argument of the function. The argument x is inserted in place of the slot to get f of x. The pure function can do more than just apply a named function like f with one argument. For example, this uses a pure function to apply f with second argument a to an argument x. The pure function can also be applied using the at notation rather than by enclosing x in square brackets. Mapping a pure function over a list using /at is just a convenient way to apply a pure function in that same way to every element in the list. For example, this shows a pure function mapped over a list. The effect is the same as applying the pure function separately to each element. The result shows the elements of the list inserted in place of the slot in the pure function. Pure functions are often very useful as a way to avoid having to repeat things. Mapping a pure function over a list as in this input, for example, is a way to avoid the need to enter the function separately for each element of the list. Pure functions also avoid the need to repeat things if the slot occurs in more than one place in the function. This input, for example, which shows applying a pure function to blend of red and yellow, avoids the need to repeat the blend of red and yellow calculation separately for each of the 3 places where it occurs in the function. Finally, it's worth noting that a pure function on its own doesn't normally do anything if it is used without any arguments. Entering a pure function as a calculation, for example, just returns the input unchanged. The same is true of other functions. Entering blur, for example, or a generic function f just returns the input unchanged. The effect of the pure function is only seen when it is applied to arguments. The effect of the pure function is seen when the function is mapped over a list, for example, and the function does not just return unchanged because the function is applied to the elements of the list. That's the end of the examples for this section. To summarize, the only new programming vocabulary in this section is the notation for pure functions, using the ampersand character at the end to tell the system that the input is a pure function, and the number sign character to indicate a slot where an argument should be inserted into the function. Beyond just notation, however, the notion of a pure function is a basic concept in computer programming, and especially in a way of programming called functional programming. More information about pure anonymous functions and about functional programming in general can be found in the Wolfram Language and System Documentation Center by clicking the Core Language Instructor button and selecting Functional Programming from the menu that pops up, which brings up this page that starts with links to information about pure anonymous functions and goes on from there with links to information about the map function and other topics in functional programming. Here are the exercises from the end of this section. As an example, consider exercise 26.1. Use range and a pure function to create a list of the first 20 squares. There are, of course, many ways to get a list of the first 20 squares. Squaring range of 20, for example, will give a list of the first 20 squares, or that list can easily be generated using table. The idea in this exercise, however, is to use range and a pure function to get that list, which can be done by starting again with range of 20 to get a list of the first 20 integers, and then mapping a pure function that squares its argument over that list to get the list of the first 20 squares. Mapping using /at isn't really needed here, however, since, as noted in an earlier section, squaring is a listable operation that maps over the list automatically, so applying the same pure function directly to range of 20, either by enclosing range of 20 in square brackets after the pure function, or by using the at notation, will also give a list of the first 20 squares.